rooting for tonight?
I'm rooting for everybody black. I am.
Have a good time.
I know y'all see how I look today. I mean, hey guys, thank you so much for tuning into my channel where I talk about true crime, controversial events, historic figures, anything that I'm pretty much interested in at the moment, we're gonna talk about. Don't forget to take a look at my other previous videos and subscribe. So today is true crime and missing, and we're gonna be talking about Celina Janette. So Celina Janette didn't really have the greatest upbringing. You know, her struggles started long before she became pregnant as a preteen, which is extremely young, like too young, 12 years old. So let's start from the very beginning. Her parents met back when her dad, TJ Mays, was a musician and her mom, Lynn Marie Vitel, was a dancer. They both had substance abuse issues. They were heavy into drugs and turbulent relationship that turned violent quite frequently. They never did get married and they eventually, ended things with one another, but that resulted into a bitter custody battle for Celina. But her mom eventually won and got full custody of Celina. So Lynn worked hard on herself while, harnessing her addictions, and she was able to land a job as a school, custodian. So she was trying to get her life on track, the best way she can for her daughter. But sadly, when Celina was just 10 years old, Lynn passed away suddenly from a brain aneurysm. So now she's without a mother, and now there's another battle custody over Celina. So her mom's family wanted her, but her dad wanted full custody too. So they were back and forth, but eventually, her father won. But even though Celina was around her dad and so much family, they didn't have the closest relationship. Her mother, Lynn, did her best to keep, CJ, her father, out of, Celina's life. But, he had moved on from music and started working as a bookkeeper and accountant for the Gospel of Christ Ministries based in Mount Holly, New Jersey. His sister, Sarita Smith, was the pastor of the church, and they raised Celina as a dedicated church member. So they were like extremely, religious. Her dad became pretty obsessed with his newfound, religious group, which was later described as more of a cult by members who had left. So, when Celina arrived at her dad's house, he decided she was no longer going to be in public school. He started homeschooling her and imposing strict rules on her. So she had to attend church very frequently. She was very sheltered. He wasn't trying to have her go nowhere. Like, she was trapped in the house. She was stuck in the house. He was like, look, I don't want you out in public school. Because, public school, there's a lot of things that, kids could be revealed to. So I'm pretty sure he was like, nah, I don't want her exposed to anything but church and home. And church and home. Eat, poop, do whatever I tell you to do. He wasn't having her go nowhere. So the Gospel of Christ Ministries, they had numerous complaints from former members in the late 1990s who claimed that the church was utilizing brainwashing techniques on its congregation and enforcing strict religious beliefs. But that didn't stop Celina from getting pregnant at the age of 12 years old. Only 12 at this point. So I don't know if, I want to get my belt. I don't know if I should be mad at the parents for not keeping their eyes on her. I mean, Celina became pregnant and, her father became enraged, and he told Celina he would force her to have a paternity test done on her so he would know who the father of the baby was. So despite, his threats, Celina never told her family members who the father of her unborn, child was. She refused. She didn't want any drama. So one of her aunts suspected that while Celina was out roller skating one day, she met a boy, and that's who had gotten her pregnant. But that was never, solid and confirmed. And honestly, if an adult was watching her, when did she have the time to like leave with the boy at the skating ring and go have sex? And like, she was so under strict rules and so sheltered. I'm just trying to figure out, when did she have time to leave the house and go on and have sex or dabble with boys? Unless, to me, I feel like it was someone close in the household or close knit somewhere. But that's just my speculation, so let's just continue. So now her father is enraged, and he's trying to figure out who's the father of the baby. But just 2 days before Celina disappeared, she went to see her OBGYN, and she was 9 months pregnant at the time and approximately 2 weeks away from having her baby. So she mentioned to her doctor that the father of her baby was not part of her church. She also told her doctor that the boy was 16 years old. So on December 15th, 1996, Celina ate dinner at home with her family. At 11 p.m., she politely thanked, her cousin who made the meal and went to her bedroom, business as usual, just a regular night. So the very next day, her dad went into Celina's room to make sure, she was up. When he pulled back the covers, Celina was not in her bed. A pile of pillows had been arranged to make it look like she had been there. So Celina's personal items like her purse, her prenatal vitamins, everything was still left behind. Everything was still put. So, she went missing, and there was literally no trace of her at all. And it's been 24 years since her disappearance. So her father believes that, she planned her disappearance mainly because he threatened to have a paternity test performed to learn the identity of her unborn child's father. Officials also stated that CJ was not trying to help them find her at all. And over the years, they actually lost touch with him because he was so disconnected from the disappearance. Even the family was also disconnected from the whole case. They wasn't really trying to help, authorities find any information related to her disappearance, which I think is very fishy, because why wouldn't you want to be cooperative? Like, your daughter is missing, and I don't know. That was just very strange. Like, why wouldn't you? And if you didn't care, why didn't you at least let her live with the mother then, if you weren't going to really take her disappearance seriously, or just take care of a child? If you didn't really want to take care of her, or if you really didn't care, or if you felt like she wasn't abiding by your, religious beliefs and views, why didn't you go on and send her off to be with her mother's side of the family? Also, one of Celina's relatives told the press that he believed that she was murdered by the baby's father in order to prevent, his identity from being revealed. And there's also some possibility that she died as the result of an amateur abortion. So there were like tons of speculations. But the baby's father, if he ever was identified, could be charged with rape due to the fact that Celina was so young when she became pregnant. And authorities responded to that by stating, look, they have no information concerning Celina's child's father, but, they're trying to get some information so that they can put somebody in jail, because it would be rape because she was 12 years old. But, there were some speculations that Celina's cousin fathered her child. He was also interviewed several times by authorities after she, disappeared, but he denied any knowledge of Celina's whereabouts. And, he has like 7 children by 4 different women. He's married now to one of the mother of his children. But honestly, like, that's not far-fetched if that was, a rumor or a, speculation that he could have fathered her baby, because there's tons of people that are molested by their family members and get pregnant by them. So I'm not going to put that to the side. Like, I was still thinking about that, because if she was such a homebody, if she was, you know, not allowed to really go anywhere but church and home, church, home, her school, she was homeschooled. So I'm just trying to figure out, like, where did she have time, or when did she have time to get pregnant by somebody, unless it was someone close to the family. So now that, you know, it's out that Celina is missing, you know, Celina's mother's side of the family actually accused, you know, the father's side of the family of actually hiding Celina, and vice versa. So they were both just like nagging back at each other, like, look, y'all are hiding her. No, y'all are hiding her. Where did y'all put her? No, where did y'all put her? They were just both arguing. But at this point, you know, there was no evidence of where Celina could possibly be. Several of Celina's maternal relatives believe foul play was involved in her case. Like, no evidence has been produced to support any of these theories, but there's even speculations that an ex-church member hid Celina to get away from her daddy religious overload. You know, there have been numerous unconfirmed sightings of Celina in the years since her disappearance, and so many rumors. In the weeks immediately after her disappearance, she was supposedly seen in Lacey Township and Hopewell Township in New Jersey, but these have, you know, not been confirmed at all. A business owner in Midland, Texas reported that one of his employees matched her description in 2000. Authorities determined that the young woman was not Celina shortly afterwards, but there was just a whole bunch of speculations and rumors about this case. But it's not until December 2002, you know, investigators said that a woman who resembled Celina was captured on a security camera videotape near a Wawa store in Egg Harbor Township, New Jersey. But, you know, that sighting is, you know, being reviewed, but that was like the only type of piece of evidence, you know, investigators had that they could now, like, okay, let's look into it. But honestly, I won't be surprised if she's alive and she just doesn't want to be around her family anymore, because I would hate to find out that she was murdered or killed. You know, I hope she just dipped out on them and was like, deuces. But Celina's mom's side of the family, you know, they live in Michigan and Florida, and they're actually, you know, trying to find Celina currently, because her mother actually left her a large life insurance policy, which she is now eligible to collect since she turned 18. So hopefully, you know, she pops up and collects her bag.
Tell them to bring me my money.
But, you know, investigators are calling Celina's case a missing persons case, not a homicide, and it still remains unsolved. Celina would have been 36 years old now, and, you know, the police department even drew up some images to see what she might look like to find her. This was the story of Celina Janette. Share the stories with others. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And I'll see y'all next time.
Have a good time. Have a good time.